Hello, good evening and welcome to Jim's Arden Adventures. Unfortunately, we're not having an awful lot of adventures just now because it's raining. It's Scotland, Isle of Arran, and it hasn't stopped raining for days. I had planned to try and do this as out in the wild, but I thought, right, okay, we'll just have to go for it in the workshop here. So the plan is to have a look at some rather old cooking stoves or methods of cooking, but something that is actually far more reliable than certainly than gas in the winter, because as we all know, gas doesn't evaporate, or LPG doesn't evaporate particularly well once it gets down to the freezing area. So I've got three wee stoves that I've collected, and they're all on the same principle, pressure stoves. Paraffin, or in the case of two of them, they're actually petrol stoves, which is somewhat unusual. But anyway, here we go. Right. This is, as you can see, a pretty small stove, but nevertheless you can get a fair bit of cooking out of that. I can't for life of me remember at the moment just how much it is. I think it's a 1/4 pint stove. It's a lovely little example. The stove just sits in there, and it comes with an aluminium frying pan, the handle, and or the boiling billy. And this piece comes off. Curves in there. Stove back in there. And they are nice and easy and compact. This is a slightly different one. That's a Primus number 71 stove. This is one that I only bought a couple of days ago, and as you can tell, it's fairly shiny. It's just been polished. It's missing a couple of bits. The pump's missing and the flame diffuser's missing, but we will get round to trying to find those. I was really happy to get this actually, because being an ex-member of the Arran Mountain Rescue Team, this once belonged to the Mountain Rescue Team, and it was one of the stoves that they were issued with for the winter. It's got a nice wee catch there, holds the stove in position, and it's got a wee button lid. So that's a monitor stove. And the last one, which is I suppose I got to say, it's another Primus 71. But this is, I guess, is my pride and joy. It's got some funny wee modifications done to it, and it's got asbestos rope round there to absorb more fuel when it's being lit. But these, I understand, all three of them were issued to the forces during the Second World War and the First World War, I believe. So there's a Primus can, and it's just a nice little stove. The stove sits in there, the same idea, and the pan rest is on the top. But this one I have obviously tarted up, but I did keep this, which is on the bottom. Right, if we can see this. Yeah, right. It's Lance Corporal L. Dyer, number 1 Motor Ambulance Corps, Royal Army Service Corps, Middle East Forces, 1942 to 1945. So this little stove saw service during the Second World War. And the beauty of Primus stoves, they run on paraffin, or in these rare cases on petrol, because of course the military at that time, all the lorries were petrol driven lorries, so petrol was a readily available source of fuel and doesn't take much in your backpack. Okay. Right, here's another stove. This is my day-to-day using stove. Similar idea, frying pan, packing and the handy face wipes or whatever. And here is everything I need to run this little stove. Handy spanner, stove legs, methylated spirits, lighter, and they call this a lipstick burner. Wonder why. So this is another make of stove. This is a Burma stove, which is pretty much a copy, direct in fact, of a Primus 96, but this they call a Primus 96. It's always fueled up. Little paraffin spirit tray, and the top itself, plus stove pan legs. I'm going to light this one up just to try and show what's what. You release the air, move that out of the way, and fill the spirit cup with methylated spirits. This takes usually about 3 minutes from igniting the meths to the meths heating up the burner enough to evaporate the paraffin. So we'll just let that run for a minute and I shall be back just about as the spirit runs out. No point in watching this for burning for 3 minutes. Well, that's the spirits just about burned off. Well, the secret with these stoves is, oh, that's it, it's gone. Shut the pressure valve. And there we go. No flare out. If you take your time and wait till the thing's properly heated up, it is nice and safe to use. Now the turn valves. We have the temperature gun, and that's already at 211 degrees Celsius. A pan of water on, and we can have a cup of coffee. I should time this really. I'd like to move on a little bit. There's one more item I'd like to show you. I'll just set this aside. And last but not least, another very good bit of kit. This time we're using Coleman fuel. Still sooty from the last time. They didn't clean it properly. This is another pump type system, but it's another pressure stove. In this case it's Coleman fuel, which is very refined petrol. Doesn't burn with so much smell. Goes around there, gets reheated, and with a bottle this size it's going to last you a fair old while. That just connects screws onto there, lies down the side of things. Another great bit of kit for winter use. I think that's just about it, other than my magic box, which has got fire making equipment, small amount of first aid, spare batteries, lots of methylated spirit, a couple of lighters, and a bit of char cloth for starting fire if things are really difficult, and a flint and steel as well. So that's what I carry. And we've got washing up liquid and just hand washing gel. Yeah, that's what that is. Okay, I think that's probably just about it for this video. Here's the lamp oil, which is what I use for the Primus stoves. Not incredibly expensive, £4.50 a litre, and I've had this bottle for quite a while. Can't quite think of anything else to say at the moment, but I'll have a look at the video and see if we can round things up. But thanks for watching, and I hope I haven't bored you to tears. Cheers. Yeah, well, I'm back again. There's a couple of things I would like to add before I get absolutely slated for lighting up a carbon monoxide producing paraffin stove. Safety is always of a very high importance, and I'm quite lucky in that I'm still working part-time, looking after large commercial biomass wood burning boilers. So I'm equipped with both carbon monoxide and oxygen sensors. So I took sensible precautions when firing that up, and it burned pretty cleanly because it didn't set off the carbon dioxide sensor. And the other last wee thing I'd like to do, which I forgot all about, was I'd like to add a great shout out to Derry Walker, who very kindly put this rather little rare 71E on eBay and allowed me to buy it. They're beginning to command quite ridiculous prices, but any collectible, and I'm happy. So I hope you're all happy too. Thank you very much for watching.